spending the afternoon being the dragon sitting on the time board, I feel compelled to not say very much, but I too actually wanted to thank Eduardo for myself personally, but on behalf of all of us. Quite a few years ago, I was here in Portugal as part of the MIT Portugal program, and one of my MIT colleagues sort of pulled me aside and said, there's somebody who teaches in the program, you might know him, his name is Eduardo, and he's got some idea. It has something to do with railroads, and he's looking for a historian, preferably an economic historian. And do you know one of those? And I said, well, I'm pretty much the economic historian at MIT. So yeah, I'll talk to him. And there was sort of all this stuff about a historical railroad, and it was closing, and there was a dam, and I was completely lost. But so my husband's sitting here, and a graduate student of mine, so they both know I'm absolutely incapable of saying no to virtually any completely crazy idea that people propose to me. And so, I thought, well, sure, that sounds interesting and great, and in fact, it has been more than interesting and more than great. And so I am personally want to thank you, Eduardo, for getting me out of the classroom in Portugal and into this research project. But I also want to say, and this follows up on what Paola said, at least at my university, I suspect at most universities, everybody talks about interdisciplinary projects. Everybody talks about it. Almost nobody does it. Because it's hard, and sometimes it's tedious, right? You have to learn things that you didn't want to think about, otherwise you would have studied them yourself in the first place. You have to learn sometimes whole alternate languages, and I don't just mean foreign languages, but the language of another discipline. And you have to be patient with people who see the world perhaps very differently than you do. And that's why most of our colleagues don't actually do this. And I have to say, in my however many years it is now in the academy, that this sustained multi-year truly interdisciplinary research project is, I think, completely unique in my experience. And so stay tuned. I know this is the third conference of 3, but presumably you've heard of the 4th conference. And so, keep your ears low to the ground, check your email, and hopefully we will have some schemes ahead for the future so that we can continue this kind of thing. And with that, I will thank our host again, and hopefully that will bring us to dinner.